Our Briggs LaSavage breaks down the newest findings from Sunday night's incident. Briggs.
Yeah, Dan and Laura, there have been questions since Sunday's incident about what led up to the Superior police officer firing their weapon. Today, Chief Paul Winterscheid says he believes body camera images released just this morning will help answer that. As we reported from state investigators, Superior Police had been responding to a report of a man with a knife who had been inside a home with a woman. Today, Winterscheid said that man was suicidal and experiencing a mental health crisis, which he says is one of the most difficult kinds of calls his officers respond to. When the two officers arrived on scene, they began searching for the man in a parking lot. And that's when Winterscheid says the man came from behind a parked car, brandishing a large knife, as seen here in this screenshot from the body camera video that police shared this morning. And it's difficult to tell, but Winterscheid says the woman is also right there with the man, and both of them ended up being shot. While they can't share the full video yet due to the ongoing investigation, Winterscheid says it was less than 2 seconds from the time the man emerged to the officer firing their weapon.
Officers from the Superior Police Department, including all police officers really now, receive training in de-escalation techniques and crisis response, and those tools are used regularly. However, de-escalation is not always possible when an armed individual presents an immediate threat at extremely close range.
The man and the woman shot are still in the hospital, but they are expected to recover. Winterscheid says he's not sure how many times they were shot, but he does believe it was more than once. The officer involved here has not been identified yet, but they have been placed on standard administrative leave. The Wisconsin DOJ will eventually turn over their findings to the Douglas County District Attorney.